Greetings, dear ones. This is Reverend Belinda with the Imani Center, and this is our 10:10 meditation, getting us nice and grounded and ready for a joyous Sunday service. And so if you'd like to join me, choosing your posture, maybe sitting upright with your shoulders rolled back and your feet flat on the floor, but whatever position you find most comfortable. And then allowing your eyes to be either open or closed with a gaze stable and focused at the spiritual eye. And recognizing that my words are merely guides to things that are inherently known by you. And establishing as well that gentle but firm intention to be as awake as possible, to be in touch as possible with the present moment, just as it is, and however it is. Using my words merely as pointers to your own inner experience from moment to moment. Now gradually allowing your attention to alight gently on the breath, moving in and out of the body, featuring as a primary focus some region in your body where the breath sensations are the most vivid for you. That might be in the belly, where you may be experiencing the gentle ballooning out of the abdomen on the in-breath and the gentle receding on the out-breath. Or at the nostrils, where you're actually feeling the passage of air as it comes in and out. Allowing your breath to be as it is, without forcing, striving, or efforting, gently riding on the waves of your breathing, moment by moment, as a leaf might ride on the waves on the surface of a pond, feeling the sensations in your body associated with the breath coming in, and the sensations in the body of the breath moving out. Just allowing the breath to be as it is, moment by moment, breath by breath. Allow your attention to be as it is, allowing your intention to include the full embracing of each and every breath, gently, lightly, with mindfulness, so that the breath is known, felt, and experienced in the moment of its arising, in the full unfolding of the breath as it falls away. Hold in your awareness as best you can the breath, moment by moment. Resting in this awareness, just this very moment, with the breath moving, and the feeling, and the sensation, and the knowing of the breath as it is, moment by moment, breath by breath. Sitting here, resting in awareness itself, in this moment, in this breath, in this meditation. Gently coming back from your meditation. I hope you've enjoyed this time meditating on the breath. And as we come back into our full awareness, into this present moment, we bring this beautiful awareness into our spiritual mind treatment, knowing that the divine has joined us right here where we are in every breath. We're breathing in the divine, and we're surrounded by the power and presence of the divine. And we take it out wherever we go, across this planet, whomever we touch. We're always immersed in the divine. And we recognize the divinity in another. In everything, we take a moment to recognize the beauty in this present holy moment on the in-breath and the out-breath, moment by moment. And we're so grateful for this time together. We're grateful to meditate together. And we release this and let it go, knowing it really has uplifted each one of us individually and the vibration of this entire planet. And we say together, and so it is. So dear ones, please stay tuned for the upcoming Sunday service and be inspired by the Sunday message. And also stay tuned for all the upcoming classes and events and wonderful opportunities that we have going on at the Imani Center. So grateful that you've joined us. So grateful you're part of the Imani tribe. Great blessings, dear ones. Namaste. that we're nice and centered, our theme this month is letting go and beginning again. Are you ready to begin again? Yes. Then we're going to let Ascension get us going.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices in the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love, be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valleys, the rivers to the sea, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace, and every simple act of mercy, every step to kingdom come, all the hope in every heart speaks what love has done. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love, be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love and be a witness in the silence when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love and be a witness in the silence when words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love.
Thank you, Ascension. And thank you all for joining us this morning. Welcome, welcome to the Amani Center. And so what is the Amani Center? Well, we have a beautiful vision statement. And so I invite you to read it through with me this morning. We are an inclusive spiritual community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. That's a big statement, and we really are committed to that through our classes, events, just in our time to commune together on Sunday morning, and all of our many get-togethers. So how do we do this? Well, we'll have Marcy tell us all about the announcements in a few minutes. But just stay tuned. We have some great ways to get together. But one of the ways, we have lots of classes that go on and an academy where you can become a certified practitioner. Religious science certified practitioner, New Thought certified practitioner, and our main tool is what's called affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment, where we absolutely know the truth for you. If you're trying to maybe manifest something in your lives or try to allow something to move out, prayer works and helps us with that. So all of the practitioners that have graduated and are certified are ready and available and love to pray with you. So would you contact us at admin@theamanicenter.org or 530-677-2300. Give us a shout out and we'll set you up with someone that will pray with you. And let's see, we have some great announcements. Let's bring Marcy Mitchell up to tell us all about what's going on here.
Thank you, Reverend Belinda. We do have some great announcements today. So starting with our theme, it's not our theme. It's the fact that we are virtual right now. So numbers are a little crazy out there. In the interest of safety for our community, we are just live stream only for the month of January. So watch us online, YouTube, on our Facebook. Stay connected and stay safe, Amani. And so here is our theme for January, which Reverend Belinda already talked about a little bit. I release and I let go and I begin again. So our speaker today is our wonderful ministerial intern, Mitch Austin, always a favorite at the Imani Center. It's a 5-Sunday month. My favorite Sunday, our favorite months are 5 Sunday months because we get to bring in another speaker, which this month will be Reverend Donna Appadone on the 23rd. And then our wonderful Reverend Sherry Wynn will wrap it up as she does every month on the last Sunday, January 30th. So we are incredibly blessed in the rich speakers that we have. They really do such a wonderful job. And so here is an event that's coming up that is live stream that's going to be amazing. And I really encourage you to jump on this. It's Mary Morrissey's Dream Builder Live. It is virtual. This is the second year in a row she's done it virtual for obvious reasons. But you can still participate, and you're going to be hearing some more about this on our social media. It's just a great opportunity to recharge and to start your year on the right foot. It's super fun, it's funny, it's engaging. Mary Morrissey is the real deal. So you have a special Imani price of $97, and half of that, $47 worth of it, goes to the Imani Center directly, and then $50 will support the mission and a kit that you're going to get to participate. And this year, for the first time, they are allowing you to invite a friend for free. So it's a great year to sign up for Dream Builder Live. Follow the link that's on our website and also being shared on social media, and take advantage of this great 3-day event. And then another amazing event that is coming up is Rise and Speak. It's a wonderful class workshop that our wonderful ministerial intern Mitch Austin does, and he'll probably talk about this a little bit during his talk. But it's going to begin on February 22nd, and it's going to be live in the space. Now, I just finished this last one he did here at Imani. This is an amazing opportunity to go deep, work on some stuff, connect on a very deep level with some other amazing Imani people, and then have an opportunity to share something on the Imani Rise and Speak night, which is great fun. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this, and what a great connection. I formed just new connections with some people that I've known a long time and some people I've known less time, but it's really an amazing class. So if you're thinking, maybe that's for me, then yes, it is. So sign up. Everything's available on our website, theimanicenter.org. And then today is our Circle of Light. We'll be meeting. That's our practitioners and ministers. So you should have received, for members of the Circle of Light, you should have received your link already in your email. Check it. We're meeting virtually via Zoom today at 12:30. So I look forward to seeing you then. And I think we're going to turn it back over to Reverend Belinda to bless the service.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of exciting things going on. I love that. Invite a friend for free. That's very cool. If anybody's taken the Prosperity 1 and 2 classes here, it's kind of an extension of that. And so it's very energetic and very engaging and working together out loud. So, all right. It's my honor to bless the service this morning, and I ask you to join me. If you'll close your eyes, if you feel comfortable doing that. And gazing up at that point of light, seat of the soul, the spiritual eye, and gaze deeply there as we allow the divine to join us in this beautiful service this morning, blessing us as we bless others, knowing that the divine, the power and presence is in every single cell of our being, animates us, opens our hearts, and connects us as we are one in the divine, in this holy instant.
So we know that this service and the message that's taught today, it goes out across this planet and blesses others, lifts us up in inspiration, and reminds us who we are, absolutely one with the divine. So we're grateful for this opportunity. We're grateful for all the volunteers that have shown up this morning to bring this live stream service to you. We bless all of you out there in virtual land for joining us this morning. And so we center ourselves in the divine and open up to all the gifts and blessings of this service. We release this for the highest and greatest good of all, as we say together, and so it is. And now let's bring up Marcy to do our affirmation for us this morning.
Good morning, Amani. All right, we are going to go through our affirmation 3 times. The first time we'll speak it aloud with energy and enthusiasm. The second time we'll bring it deeper in and speak it in more of a whisper. And the third time I invite you to just join in mentally as I speak it aloud. Today's affirmation is brought to us by ministerial intern Mitch Austin. So let's begin. I stand in my power to choose the heavenly thoughts, no matter what the world tells me. I stand in my power to choose heavenly thoughts, no matter what the world tells me. I stand in my power to choose heavenly thoughts, no matter what the world tells me. And together we say, and so it is. And now our meditation song from Ascension.
No place where God is not.
feels comfortable, allow your eyes to close and receive that deep cleansing breath in, filling the lungs and belly, pausing at the top of the breath, and then releasing as the body calms, the heart rate slows. Continue to breathe deeply, comfortably, as we surrender to spirit, surrender to truth, surrender to abundance and strength and love and connection. All things that are the truth of who we are, in spite of any data or evidence or facts that are occurring on the outside. We know that we are one with Spirit, one with God, one with the universe, one with the universe and the earth, right now in this moment and always. And so as it feels at times like the world is going crazy around us, it's more important than ever for us to stay grounded, to stop and to breathe, to pause and check in and surrender again and again and again in every moment. So we feel that grounding into the earth, into spirit, into the universe, knowing we are supported, knowing we are connected, knowing we are one with each other and Source. And let us just focus on an intention. Our intention today, be it for ourselves and how we show up, for our brothers and sisters of all kingdoms on the planet, animal, plant, mineral, for the world as a whole and the universe. We set this intention, we speak it clearly in our minds, and we focus on that intention as we take it into our meditation. And now, staying in this place of deep connection and awareness. We take a moment for a treatment for divine healing. Divine healing for the planet. Divine healing for all the creatures of the planet. I know there are people in this community right now who are walking through a time of suffering, who are in an experience on the planet that is challenging, that is pushing them and trying their strength, their faith, their connection. In this community of Imani, in our greater Cameron Park and Sacramento area community, across Northern California and Southern California, and across this country, around this globe, this blue dot that we call our home. I am just knowing healing and oneness for all. This is the truth of each and every one of us. Even in the midst of our challenge, we are always divinely connected, always divinely sourced, lifted, held. And we do this for each other as well, as part of our practice, as part of our gift, and part of our reason for being on the planet. We connect, we support each other. When you're feeling down or struggling, I'm there for you. And I know that you are there for me when I am in it. And always, all of us are held and lifted by the divine. And so I am so grateful for this truth. I'm so grateful to remember it. I'm grateful for all of those who are lifting each other in the Imani community and across the planet. And I'm grateful for this place called the Imani Center, where we come together and we support each other and we dance and listen to beautiful music and hear messages of joy and inspiration and hope and struggle and challenge and God, where we come to be reminded of that connection. Through classes, through Sunday experience, through workshops, through just showing up, even when it's virtual. I'm grateful to each and every person showing up today, however they do it. Whether it's in action or gifts of love, words, prayer, physical support, lifting someone up. I feel it. And I'm grateful to everyone listening right now, knowing that you listened, you showed up, and you take it with you and lift the rest of the world. I release my word into the law. I know that as I speak it, it is already done, it is already unfolded, and it continues to manifest divinely. All is well. Together we say, and so it is. And now more beautiful music from Ascension.
I release and I let go. I let spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm holding
Ascensions in the house. Thank you so much for that great music this morning. Fun, fun. So many favorites. So now it's my honor to bring up our ministerial intern, Mitch Austin, who's a favorite here. He speaks from his experience, and you know, it's a lot easier to learn and take in a lesson when someone else is sharing their experience and how they've walked through it. So please help me welcome Mitch Austin.
So much, Reverend Belinda, for that wonderful introduction. Yeah, you know, I was wondering as I've, went through some journeys on my life, like, was there any good, any point to this? Apparently there was. Apparently there was. So welcome everybody in the room and online. So grateful you could be with us on this beautiful Sunday morning. And I'm super excited about today's talk. Today's talk is actually a version of the very first talk I ever gave to this spiritual community. But it's got a new twist. It's been redone. So I'm super excited to bring it to you. And the genesis for this talk, the beginnings of it, happened when I took a class called Metaphysical Bible. And up until that point, I didn't have a relationship with the Bible. I was a little scared of it, to be honest. But I thought, well, maybe there's a different way to look at it. And I thought, I'm going to take this class and see what happens. And I learned about these things called parables, which are teaching stories. And that's how Jesus taught things. And so in Metaphysical Bible, we learned about how parables teach spiritual principle. I was like, wow, I was on fire. And there was this one story, this one parable. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, someday, I'm going to do a talk on that. I wasn't even like a practitioner yet, But you know how like deep down sometimes you connect with something so strongly, you know it's already true even though there's no evidence. That's what happened. I'm going to tell that story today. I'm excited. That was like 10 years ago and you're going to hear that today. So it's been crazy times still, right? We had snowstorms. I heard about something about a tsunami coming to town. Now we have Omicron coming to town. We'd like it to leave town. So tensions have been high, right? Who could use some relief? Anybody? Some relief? Yes. Who would like to experience heaven on earth without leaving your body? Anybody? Yeah? Throw up the hearts, throw up the likes. Well, we're going to do that today. Because heaven is right here, right now, and it's only a thought away. But it's easy to get distracted. You know, Mary Morrissey, who runs the Dream Builder Live workshop, which is phenomenal, by the way. I've been, and it is life-changing. I went about 8 years ago, and I still remember. You know, sometimes you go to trainings you don't remember. I still remember the people, the lessons, the things we did. So definitely worth your time and your investment for that. For Dream Builder Live. But here's what she says. She says sometimes our attention gets stuck on CNN, constantly negative news, right? And we get taken right out of our experience of the good that's here, right? It's already here. So that's why I titled today's talk, Get Out of the Way. Heaven is here. The stakes are high. You know, almost every spiritual tradition has some version of all thought is creative and influential. And we do a lot of discussion here at Imani about how to work with our mind in ways that is more life-affirming. Because the truth is, once you move anxiety out of your consciousness, what's left? Peace, right? Once you remove the fear, what's left? Love. Once you remove the lack thinking, what's left? Abundance. See, all these things are here, always in the background of our minds, but sometimes we distance ourselves with the kinds of thoughts that we're having. And so I'm going to talk about the mind today and what's in there like a cup, right? And what might be in our cup that's blocking our experience of good. And I'm going to talk about how to cultivate a heavenly mindset. A heavenly mindset. But it's so easy to get pulled out, isn't it? You know, you're going down the road, somebody cuts you off and gives you half a peace sign. Whoop, out you go. You know, for me, it's grocery store lines. I'm in the 15-item line, and you got 18, and I know because I've counted every one of them, you know. I'm just right out of my piece. I remember the first time I went to give this talk, it's when I didn't have the iPad and I would use poster board. And it was a Sunday and I was on my way to the talk and I had to go to the dollar store to get the poster board and I was on a schedule. And I hand the lady the poster board and she slowly takes it and is scanning and it's not scanning. And then it scans, but she can't read it. She puts it over there and go, oh my God. I'm like, really? Really? And then I caught myself going, wow, I'm giving this talk on Heaven's Here, and I'm letting myself get pulled right out of it. So we're going to focus on 3 parts of this heavenly mindset today. The first part is to follow our guidance. Follow our guidance, that thing that comes in from out of the blue. I remember I was getting ready to go to work, and I heard, grab your checkbook. And I thought, why am I going to grab my checkbook? Don't we argue with that voice? Do you ever wonder who you're arguing with? But I knew better. I knew if that dropped in it, there must have been a reason. So I took it to work. And that day, they were selling crab feed tickets I've been trying to get for 2 months. And they were only taking checks. And that day, they sold out. So if I hadn't brought my checkbook, I wouldn't have got the tickets. Now, that might be a small thing, but here's what I want us to remember. Spirit hears every meditation of our heart, no matter how small or how tall, and is always guiding us to bring us to it. But we got to listen. We got to do it. The second area I'm going to focus on is the fact that we are worthy for every good our heart can desire or want, no matter what has happened in the past. See, spiritual principle is no respecter of precedent. You can begin again, no matter what. And we're going to unpack that today. And then lastly, and most importantly, is to remain receptive to our good, to mind what's in the cup of our consciousness so that we're not getting in the way of the experience of heaven that's here right now. So you want to know what that story was that I fell in love with, that I was going to talk about? It was the prodigal son. Who loves the prodigal son? We got any prodigal son people? Yeah, it's been called the crown jewel of the Bible. Ernest Holmes called it the greatest story ever told. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to tell it Mitch style today. Keep it fun and lively. Now, some of you may be thinking, I know that story. I've heard it a million times. I'm going to invite you to approach it this time with a beginner's mind. Because the truth is, you're not the same person as when you heard this story the first time. Right? We're all like a stream, right? A stream of water. And you can't step in the same stream twice because it's different. And so are you. Now, if you have an aversion to the B word, Bible, I'm going to invite you to cultivate this idea that maybe there's a different way to look at it, an affirming way, a loving way that can help you and maybe heal some of your relationship with it. Now, there is a twist at the end. You may not have heard this twist before, so I'll be curious to know if you have or have not. So here's the thing about parables, right? They're stories, and we live in stories, we think in stories, we move in stories. And that's why I love doing the class Rise and Speak, is people get to come with their life story and cultivate and mine out of their gems of their life journey and share it with the world. See, these things that happen to us and that we learn from and that we grow from and this inspiration, it's not just for us. It's for all of us. So I hope you can get in Rise and Speak. I actually only have four spots left. So if that calls to you and you know you have something in your heart that needs to be shared, a story to help uplift, inspire, and heal the planet, I hope you'll join us. It's going to be awesome. So Jesus could have just said, look, here's a spiritual principle. But he didn't. He said, let me tell you a story. So the story that I'm going to focus on, the parable of the prodigal son, in this story, we're every character. We're every character of these stories, right? So there are 3 main characters. There's the forgiving father. So sometimes we're the bigger person. Sometimes we're the person that forgives. And metaphysically speaking, in this story, the father represents the divine mind, the presence, the one. The other character we're very familiar with, the prodigal son, or what I call the wayward son, right, is that character in the story where sometimes you just want to go do your own thing, right? Sometimes you just got to go. You have a vision. You just want to go do it, no matter what people are saying, right? Sometimes we've played the prodigal in our lives. And metaphysically speaking, that's the idealistic mind, right? And then the third character is the good son or the dutiful son. And he's the rule follower. He does everything right. Any rule followers in the room? I used to be a big rule follower. I don't know what happened. And this represents the pragmatic mind, right? And metaphysically speaking. So those are the three main characters. Now there's a pig, a goat, and a cow. You don't have to be any of those. That's the good news. So the parable starts out, there was a man and he had two sons. And the youngest son comes to the father, the youngest son also known as the prodigal, and says, look, I don't want to wait for you to die. I got plans. Can I just have my inheritance now? And the father says, well, sure. Here you go. Here's your 1/3. So the youngest son always got 1/3 of the inheritance. Now here's the thing. The father didn't say, well, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to invest it? How are you going to spend it? I want to make sure that, you do something wise with this, right? Spirit doesn't say that. You ask. It doesn't go, that's a great idea or that's a bad idea. It just says yes. You want to start a restaurant because it rhymes with your name and you know nothing about restaurants? Spirit just says, sure. Might be laughing behind your back, right? But it's always yes. So the prodigal, he gets his money, he gets his stuff, and he leaves the father's house. Now the father's house represents heaven. Everything's already there. But he thinks his good is out there. You ever think your good was somewhere else and you only figured out later it was like right where you were at? But no mind. He's in the idealistic mind. So he goes out to a distant country with different customs, different ways of being. And we'll call this distant country the thinking of the world, right? And he's out on the town. He's young, got a pocket full of money, spends it on wine, women, and song. And then he's broke. And not only is broke, there's a famine in the country. There's no soup kitchens. There's no handouts. Jobs are scarce. And the only job he could get was feeding the pigs. Now in this story, he's Jewish. Like that's the lowest of low jobs. And he's there feeding the pigs the hard carob seeds, and he's so hungry. And he's feeding them, and he goes, I'm so hungry, I would even eat that. Could you imagine pouring out your cat food or your dog food? I'm so hungry, I would even eat that. And he's having a pity party. I blew it. I don't deserve anything, right? He's in this lack, limitation thinking. And then it says something very powerful. It says he comes back to himself. This idea that he comes back to a higher thinking within him. And he has a thought. And he thinks, I've lost the sonship. But what if I could just be a servant in my father's house? I mean, the servants, they eat good. Sometimes there's leftover bread and wine. One small thought that he has, some little bit of higher ground he can see himself worthy for. Now he does the most powerful thing in the story. We would not have this story without this. He begins the walk back to his father's house. And that's hard to do when we've messed up, right? Sometimes it's hard to admit that we were wrong. Sometimes it's difficult to think that small thing that we're even worthy of it because of all that we've done or didn't do, right? And he's in a distant country. It was a long walk. I'm sure he had some doubts. You ever decide, I'm going to go do that thing, and you talk yourself out of it, right? But he kept going, walking back towards his good. And here's the thing, we're worthy no matter what happened. No matter if we had a weak moment in a relationship and cheated and we lost the relationship, we're still worthy of love, right? If we had a business and maybe we lost a lot of money and we failed at our business, we're still worthy of success. Or maybe we're not eating well, we're not exercising, maybe we gained some weight, but we're still worthy of health and respect and kindness, right? But our inner judge wants to stop us at that door of heaven and say, do not enter, you're not worthy, right? And that's where our work is to push past that mind. So there he is, he's on his long walk, and he's not even back at the Father's house yet. And the Father sees him and runs out on the road to meet him and throws his arms around him and is kissing him and hugging him. See, that's what Spirit does. We're not even there yet. And Spirit comes out to meet us, to open doors we couldn't open, right? To make the way possible, right? We take a step towards Spirit. Spirit takes a step towards us. It's a spiritual cha-cha, right? We get into that. So there he is, and the prodigal son's like, Father, I'm so sorry. And then the father's like, get the robe, get the shoes, my son has returned. And then the son's like, if I could just be a servant, get the ring. See, the father's not hearing any of this apology, lamenting, right? Spirit only sees you and your magnificence, your radiance, the truth of you, the worthiness of you. You know, he said, get the ring. You know what the ring was then? The ring had the family insignia. And what they would do with the ring is they would go in the marketplace and they would press it into the wax to buy things. Buy a coat, buy a goat. It was the unlimited credit card. He just wasted 1/3 and he gets the unlimited credit card. Always worthy, no matter what. And so the father says, kill the fatted calf, we're going to have a party. So the dutiful son, the good son, he's out slaving away. And he hears this commotion. And he goes to the servant and says, hey, what's going on? And the servant's like, oh, it's a glorious day. Your brother has returned. We're celebrating. Come celebrate with us. And he goes, no, I'm not celebrating with you. And then the father comes out and says, son, it's a glorious day. Your brother was dead and now he's alive. And we're going to celebrate. Come join us. And the dutiful son says, really? Really? You're going to throw a party for him? He wasted 1/3 of his inheritance. And I get up early, I work late, I do everything you say. This place would fall apart without me, and you won't even give us as much as a young goat for me and my friends to enjoy. I'm not going to celebrate with you. And then the father says, son, I am always with you, and all that I have is yours. See, the dutiful son, what has he got in his cup? Anger, self-righteousness, judgment. And here's the thing, you know, the prodigal went out and squandered 1/3 and came back open, receptive, humble, taking in even small things like being a servant. But the dutiful son, he got the whole kingdom. He got 2/3. He's got everything else. And he can't let a drop in. Who squandered more? We think this story is about the prodigal and going on a journey only to discover your good was always where you were. And it is. But let's remember the dutiful son was missing it too, keeping himself from his heaven. So let's revisit these 3 takeaways. First is to trust your guidance. The prodigal son had a thought, right? And he followed it. And sometimes that's hard to do because you ever get a thought that drops in and you're like, oh no, not that. I can't do that. I had that experience. I was working at a community center and I had a beautiful peace pole right outside my office, a koi fish pond. It was really quiet, loved my staff. I'm sitting there and I hear, quit your job. I'm like, no, I can't do that. So what did I do? I ignored the voice. And then it came back 2 weeks later, quit your job. Now here's what I know at this point in my spiritual evolution. Spirit throws pebbles at the window until you get what? A brick. And I didn't want to wait for the brick. And so I talked to my partner. I said, we know God is all there is and is our source of abundance, right? And so I quit the job. And I had a really good resume. I thought it won't be a problem. But I wasn't getting any interviews. It was really strange. But one thing happened is a friend of mine brought this application to my door to work at a group home with boys. And of course, my pragmatic mind pops right in. Well, that won't pay the bills. I can't, I'm just like judging it. But enough of me was awake to know it showed up for a reason. So I took it. I said, okay, I'll do it. And there I am in the back of the van with the boys, crunched up in the corner, listening to rap music, thinking, oh God, please tell me it doesn't end here. What I didn't know about this organization is they were going through a major change, and they actually needed someone with all my skill set. They didn't have anybody who could do what I could do, and in 3 months they made me the first ever human resources director. And I helped save an amazing organization that's doing some incredible healing on the planet. So, sometimes our divine assignment, it shows up in unusual ways, but we got to listen. We got to listen. And keep that balance, not too much in the pragmatic mind, not too much in the idealistic mind. So let's talk about worthiness. We got to walk towards our worthiness, always worthy. No matter what has happened in your life, it's never too late to begin again. You are the child of the Most High Spirit that only sees you in your magnificence. But so many times we don't want to put on the robe, right? I mean, the prodigal could have thrown off the robe. No, don't give me the robe. Don't give me the shoes. Don't trust me with this ring. Don't we do that sometimes? Oh, you prepared a lovely meal. It's so delicious. Oh, that was nothing. I just threw it together. Like, we just threw off the robe. You look great today. Oh, this old thing. Look, you want the kingdom, you got to let it in, right? Because sometimes we think, who am I to be so beautiful, so magnificent, so radiant? But if we all walked around in that, just think of all the stuff that wouldn't be on the planet anymore. So that is our job. That is our work. And the last part is to be receptive. What's in our cup? Mining it so that we're not being taken out of the state of heaven that's already in there. And right now we got a lot of judgment floating around. And to me, there's two different types. There's toxic judgment and there's healthy judgment. Toxic judgment to me is, I think you did something wrong, so you're wrong. You're bad. You're disinheriting people from their divinity. Or healthy judgment, you did something I don't agree with or that I think is wrong, but you're still worthy of all the good that life has to bring. See, there's a difference. And when I'm in that first judgment, my cup's all filled up with that. There's no hope in that. But in the other one, there is. So right now, we're just going to see what's in our cup right now. We're just going to drop into our bodies. I'm going to make a couple statements. And I want you to feel if there's a hook, something that's kind of pulling you out with some judgment and some lower vibrational ideas. Okay, here we go. So just take a breath. How do you feel about unvaccinated people? Little something? Maybe? Maybe not. How about you're walking down the street and you see someone wearing a MAGA hat? Little something? Maybe not. What about people on welfare? They didn't earn it. Got to work hard. They shouldn't just be given money. Maybe a little something. Maybe not. Or maybe you're at a festival and there are two men holding hands and they give each other pecks on the cheek. Do you think, where are the children? Little hook? Maybe not. So I'm going to invite you to follow your guidance, right? The more you follow it, the more you get, and your faith in it grows, right? It's a partnership. You ever tell somebody something over and over and over again, and they don't listen, and you just finally stop talking to them because you know they're not going to hear you, right? It's kind of like that with spirit, right? But the more we listen, the more we get, the more we hear, and the more we stay on track with all this good that's trying to come in. And let us remember our worthiness, no matter what happened. No matter if you got married 5 times, you're still worthy of love, right? No matter if you lost the job, no matter if you lost the weight, gained the weight back, whatever, life has the ebb and flow, but you are still worthy of every good your heart can take in. You know, Ernest Holmes puts it this way: Spirit will restore the years the locusts have eaten. That dream is still there. You're still worthy, and it's still accessible to you no matter what. And lastly, let us stay receptive. No matter what's going on in the thinking of the world, no matter what's going on in the distant country. Now, should we pay attention? Yeah, we should. But we are at choice as to whether it will pull us out of the center of our belief system, our worthiness, our love, our safety, our contentment. No matter what, it's Omicron, Deltacron, Letacron, whatever comes to town, right? We can stay in our center, in our peace, in our joy, in our heaven. Yes. Yes. If you claim it, throw up a heart, throw up a thumbs up. You got to say yes, or it doesn't get in. Blessed be. Let's take this message into prayer. Just knowing that there's only one divine power, by whatever name you choose to call it, the presence, God, Goddess, Spirit. And it's breathing us, it's loving us, it's guiding us on the planet. It's rooting for us, it's on our side always, no matter what journey we take, if we're the prodigal or if we're the dutiful or what's in our cup, always there for us, bringing us our good. And so I just give thanks for remembering this high truth of the presence of love, of peace, of abundance, of wholeness, that we always are, always will be. Blessed be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch. Wonderful talk as always. And so now it's time for our joyful time of giving. And especially now that we're back virtual only again, we're going to go over some of the ways that you can give to the Imani Center even when you're not in the room. And so we've set up a number of digital ways to give. You can text the word Imani to 44321. You can hit that donate button that's on our newsletters and our email blasts. There's a donate button on our website at theimaniCenter.org. You can use your bank app and just set up recurring or one-time checks to come to us. And you can also just mail a check yourself. Fill it out to the Imani Center and send it to 2558 Greenwood Lane, Suite number D in Cameron Park, California, 95682. There's also a link that should be getting dropped right now, and you can use that. That will take you right to the Give Lively app so that you can give to the Imani Center. We continue to obviously pay our bills, our lease, all of the utilities, even as we don't really have people in the space. So we're just so grateful for whatever you're able to give so that we can keep showing up and doing what we know we're here to do. So thank you so much for that. We're going to hear some more great music from the wonderful house band Ascension.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
And so if you'll join me in treatment as we bless these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, knowing that we live in an expansive, abundant universe, that everything we need is provided. And we give from our heart to this place that nourishes us, that lifts us up spiritually, knowing that it goes from us and does great work here at the Mani Center. And we know that we live in such abundance that we can give joyfully to this place and share it with all those that we're so close with. So blessing these gifts, these tithes, these offerings, we know that we are 100% completely provided for and are so grateful. We release this and let it go, knowing that all good is done right here and right now, as we say together, and so it is. So now, if you feel like it, please stand so that we can do our closing song together, The Presence is Here.
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
And so let's just go out upon this week knowing that this divine presence is with each and every one of us, going out before us, preparing the way, that each of us is guided, directed, protected, uplifted, and celebrated this week. And together we say, and so it is. Blessed be everyone.